Welcome to podcast number 4. The topic today is going to be motivation. And when you wake up, think about what's the thing that motivates you and keeps you going. Because life isn't always easy at times. And keeping that motivation and aspiration to do good in life and to better yourself and to become the best version of yourself is very important. And the driving factors that keep you going.
Yeah, Nordin, I think today, first of all, I would like to say that our partner, Lucas, he won't be able to be here. So we're going to have another guest today. And he has a really interesting story to tell. And I think it's going to be good for everybody to listen what he has to say because it's very motivational. And yeah, motivation is, you know, if you if you don't have motivation or if you don't have a goal, I think why is the reason to wake up in the morning? For me that's the main purpose. When I wake up every morning, I tell myself it doesn't matter how tired I am, how I feel. Really, I just want to go out. I just want to go practicing, uh, see my friends if they're good, and just do something better for myself because the biggest motivation is to improve yourself every day. That's the main goal for me.
Yeah, and I think that's the key that you motivate yourself even though you don't feel like doing something, and that's what motivation is. Like on days you don't feel good, you feel tired, you feel sick, and on those days you show your motivation and you show that no matter your condition that you still know that you're disciplined and that you know you have to do this.
Yeah.
To me, what really motivates me and keeps me going is my family. And my mom and dad in particular, and my grandparents, and how hard they have worked to put me in the position that I am today. And I feel like I would be doing injustice to myself and my family if I didn't take advantage of every opportunity that I could, because they work very hard to provide for me. And one day, I want to do it all for them times 10.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you often forget that to appreciate things in life. And the guy who's gonna be here, he's gonna tell a very interesting story, and that shows that you need to appreciate stuff in your life and be happy what you have.
yeah, it's like you said, Vito, it's not always about you, what motivates you. It's just like the responsibility that you have, responsibilities. For me, I know that I have to be motivated. I have to do the things that I have to do. Um, like my family, my mom especially, she's very proud of me, and I want to keep that because she did so many things for me in my life, and she always kept me motivated, even when I was on my weakest. It's just it's just about your mindset because you can choose to live like an easy life, but I don't think this is going to bring you something good in your life because when you do some hard things in your life and you go through them, they make you the person you are, and you just have to be focused and find a purpose.
And I don't want to be like later in my life. I don't want to be like, oh, if I did this, if I worked harder, I would maybe get there. I don't want to be like this.
Regret is the worst pain to have.
Exactly.
And you gotta live in the moment, take advantage of every situation. Because you never know when you're gonna get another opportunity. And
Yeah. But what do you think, for example, when you go to the gym? Like, I'm sure every one of us, let's say, it doesn't matter if it's gym or some other practice, I have felt so many times so tired. And I was like, fuck, I said I want to do today like some real exercise, some really good practice, a lot of things. But then I start with the first exercise and I feel so tired. And I just say to myself, I don't want to do that. Most of the time, really, I'm trying to take like couple minutes to think about it, what I really want, and if I really want it, then I'm gonna do it. But yeah, like what do you do in those situations when you really don't feel motivated?
I wake up in the morning sometimes and I see the alarm. I'm like, I wish I could have 5 more minutes. I wish I could lay in bed all day. And then I get my ass up and I try to be productive. it's worth it to fight through that pain and laziness, because inherently we all are sort of lazy, some more than others. Laziness is a big factor in what will keep people down. But when you make the right decisions and have the right habits, and you feel good about yourself at the end of the day, it's all really worth it. And you can rest when it's time to rest, but when you got to get things done, that's when it's time to focus.
Often, people struggle by motivating themselves, and they find, I would say, other people or other things that can motivate them. And usually, like people like to listen to music, which is a big factor. But see, for me, like sometimes you need what this is a reason why I play basketball. You need to be surrounded by people who will push you every day, and that's why I think that playing in a team sport or like basketball, it's very good because sometimes I don't feel doing something, and then there's people who gonna pick me up, push me, and other days it's the other way. I'm pushing them.
Yeah, I have had situations where I wasn't motivated at all, but then I see somebody who is not motivated as well. I really don't know how and why, but this moment I can help this person, but I cannot help myself. You know, because it's always like it's so easy to say some things, but it's so hard to do them
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
you can watch any YouTube video, any TikTok, any whatever about motivation, but the only person who can make change in your life is you. And getting advice from other people is good, but it's how you apply that advice and knowledge that you gained. Like I said, you can lay in bed and watch whatever, and what's it gonna do for you if you don't make that first step? And it really is all about making that first step into bettering your life, and it's not easy. And
But that's also the difference between an average person and a successful person. Average person is just gonna say something, and the successful person is gonna do actually this what he
yeah,
says.
talk is cheap. Talk is very cheap.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying every night before I go to sleep just to watch a video. You know, it doesn't matter if it's TikTok, YouTube, or whatever, or some quote. I just try to take a look at it, listen to what people can say, and it motivates me. But then I go to sleep, I wake up in the morning, it's like five something, and like you just feel everything what you heard and watched like couple hours ago, it just away, you know, and you feel so tired, you don't want to wake up, you just want to stay in your bed. But then again, you just have to give yourself time to think about it. That's why, for example, I just always put like alarm. Let's say if I have to wake up at 5:45, I set an alarm for 5:30 because I know I have 15 more minutes. When the alarm starts, I just know that I have some times to think about, like about if I really want to wake up or not. And yeah, that's the time when I realize, yeah, I need to, you know, because I have responsibilities. I need to be disciplined because especially in the morning, because every day starts in the morning. Uh, like you go to sleep, you wake up, and it's very important how you start your day.
You have to wake up thinking it's gonna be the best day of your life. And okay, you can have a good day, you can make some improvement, but what are you doing the next day and the day after that? And it all goes back down to what we always talk about is discipline.
Yeah, sometimes in basketball too, like before a practice, sometimes I think it happens to everybody. They don't feel motivated to do this and practice to wake up early, to sacrifice things. And but I think the main key is that you think a few hours ahead. Like how would you feel after the practice? And that's what I do. I wake up and of course sometimes I feel like shit, like that's normal. And after the practice, I feel so good because I know I did it. Like I woke up at 6 in the morning. I did my practice, and I'm ahead. I'm ahead. I did something good, and I'm doing something to accomplish my dream.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's really nice. I mean,
Yeah, yo.
we both can say that from our own experience. Vito, you're not an athlete anymore. I don't know what you did before, how you exactly did it when you had practices, but it's always for me the best when I wake up and when I'm tired, but I still go to practice and then I finish the practice and I feel so accomplished. I because imagine I have practice at 6 a.m. Most of the people who have classes at 8 a.m. They wake up like 15 minutes before the class. And at this time, I already swam like a couple kilometers. I did a good practice eventually. And I can start my day with some positive vibe. And it's
And you
just,
already did something very productive
yeah, yeah,
in
like,
the day didn't really even start like
yeah,
for other people.
And yeah, like I said, I've been down at times, unmotivated, don't feel like doing anything. And it's in those times where you got to keep in perspective what you get out of life. I think about the future family that I want to have and kids and all that, and who I'm all doing it for. I'm doing it for me, but I also want to help the people around me and my future family in life and everything that comes with it. And
It's all about being a better person, be a better friend, be a better son, and be a better man.
yeah. But how do you find like motivation exactly? Like, is there like,
it comes from within. It comes
It
from
really comes from how much you want it. Like, do you really want it? And that is motivation, you know?
yeah, that's right, that's right. I mean, it's always for everybody. It's different. I think we said in the previous podcast or in the first one that there are just some people who don't uh, have goals, and that's the biggest problem. When you really have those goals, I think nothing can stop you. It doesn't matter because you want it so bad, so you just
and
it's
it could be small goals too, such as making your bed every day, cleaning your room, whatever you want to do, being
And that's
organized with your homework. Me personally, when I wake up, the first thing I do is make my bed.
and
Uh,
that's good because that's already a accomplishment. You start a day by doing accomplishment, and you already feel better. You already feel better after like
of course, when my life is unorganized, I feel all over the place, and it all comes down to habits. And I don't always have the
habits.
best, for being honest. But you know, with this podcast and growing and talking to everyone else, just looking to improve myself and any viewers looking to do the same thing.
But it's always, it's also about like brushing your teeth.
You gotta take care
Take,
of yourself
yeah,
first.
take
it's
take
the
care.
little thing. It's the little
Yeah,
things.
it's the
It's the
little
little
things.
things that matter.
No one's gonna take care of you besides you. Don't forget that at the end of the day, you can look around asking for help, but you gotta remember who you're looking
Yeah,
after. You gotta
taking.
look at after other people, but yourself.
Yeah, that's those little things.
Yeah.
Taking also a shower, like it's
It,
it's really
it,
about the little things.
a lot of it comes down to confidence. If you don't feel confident in how you look, how you feel, it's you're saying, "What am I doing this all for?" It all comes back around, and the better you feel about yourself, the more you feel that I can do this and I will do that. And it's little by little getting better each and every day, and that's what we're all here to do.
And you
Don't.
especially learn this now that you are in college, because back home you had your mom, your parents who were like doing some things for you, like I don't know, like cleaning your stuff, cleaning your clothes, and now it's like all on you. You have to do these little things, and if you do it, that's on you.
Yeah, don't you also think that the people have a really big influence on that?
What people do you mean by that?
I mean, the people that you're surrounded with.
Well, you kind of are. If you're surrounded by people who have big goals and ambitions, and you guys talk about those things together, it can get a lot done. If you're surrounded by people who just want to breeze through life, keep it lazy, I don't need to do anything. I'm just gonna have fun, and like, it all comes back down to the balance of everything. You can have fun, and you also got to take care of what you got to take care of first, and that comes later on. So, like I said, I think the people you surround yourself with, will ultimately determine who you are as a person.
I can say that because like when I surround with you guys, I'm thinking ahead, like how like to get better as a person. And then there's people who have just like partying in mind, and then when you're with them, like I realize, look, this person is just talking about partying, and then like it's it's like
Is it just me or some people in general? Do you have a conversation with and you feel like your energy or some part of you was taken out? You know
yes,
what I mean? I
Yes,
just feel like,
yes.
what
I
was
think
that?
after all this
Yeah,
talking and the podcast, like I have no energy for this to listen anymore, and I'm just like I'm there, but I'm not really
it
there.
happens in some, when you talk with people, you just feel
Yeah,
like
but I
what even was that?
but especially for the
What was that
podcast,
for?
it's since we started doing it, there's so many people around campus that see us. They tell us like, "Oh, it's so good. What is the next podcast will be about?" And this thing also motivates me to do another podcast, to think about what
It's all
people would
about you
like to
guys.
hear. Yeah, it's really nice
It's really
because
nice.
we're really doing it for like the people, and to I think, in my perspective, with me sharing my opinion, I'm trying really to help other people. Sometimes I need to help myself first, but uh, like I said, sometimes you really can help people, but you cannot help yourself at the moment, because everybody has different days, different things.
And that's why you need to surround yourself with good people, because sometimes when you can't help them, they can help you.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right.
And
And helping others is great. At the same time, like if you prioritize other people over yourself, it's good to help everybody, but you got to make sure that yourself is okay at first, at least in my opinion. Because if you're going helping everyone, and no one's helping you, uh, what are you getting out of that?
Yeah,
yeah,
you need to always look also on yourself. Like
But
I'm not saying like
and some of the people that you give help don't appreciate it, and wouldn't do the same for you.
no.
So
so I think right now, when we actually have everything, we, like, the three of us, Lucas as well, that he is not here today, that we have everything and we appreciate most of the things. I think it's time for us to hear from our guest what he has to say, because in his situation it's a little bit different, and I think with what he has to say he can actually motivate us even more.
Yes.
So we can call him.
so my man from Massachusetts right here,
What's up, man? Good, good.
Christian. What's happening, brother?
Uh,
Fellow Italian right
yep,
here as
fellow
well.
Italian, fellow Massachusetts native.
Come on now.
Yep, we know. I just want to say thank you guys for having me on the podcast. I appreciate it. My name's Christian Fletcher. I'm a freshman here at Lynn from Boston, Massachusetts. Natick, to be specific. I'm here to tell my story about my upbringing and what I dealt with, and my motivation through it all. So when I was born with a disability called cerebral palsy, hypertonia to be specific, and it's pretty much just it's like a tightness of muscles, and your muscles get very tight pretty quick. So compared to a regular person, my muscle tightness is about 10 times more than a regular individual. So like when I go to the gym and stuff, I got to stretch a little more. Moving around isn't as easy for me as most people. But so yeah, I'm gonna get into the story about how it all started and how I used it to my advantage. So when I was born, I was during my mom's third trimester of being pregnant with me. She got an infection, and she didn't get it checked up on in time, and I was born with my left side was kind of scrunched up, and they kind of knew something was wrong right off the bat, and they didn't really know. So as I started to grow up, I wasn't walking as early as I was supposed to be, and they didn't know what to do, and they sent me to hospitals, and they were checking on everything, and I ended up having to wear leg braces and just to keep everything intact. So it was pretty much like a little brace that went around my leg and went down to my foot, go about halfway up my shin, and that would just keep my walking steady and all that. And then as I grew up, I had crutches about elementary school right till I got to started to get into like kindergarten and preschool. I had a walker that went around me. It was like a U shape around my back, and then the front was open, so I would walk with that. Then I had crutches, and it was hard growing up like this. It's just it's all you know
Yeah,
when
I
you.
was sorry for
No, no, don't worry
interrupting
about it
you,
all.
but how was it like dealing with the other kids, because they were like probably like not being the best to you?
Right. Yeah. It's hard because you grow up. It's all you know. So it's like you look around and it's like, why are these kids not? Why are they not wearing braces? Why are they not walking like that? And so it took me a minute to understand that I was different and I had something going on, but I realized it to a pretty early age. And kids would always, even up to this day, I mean, it's just always people sometimes making comments. It's like I catch a lot of stares, which is, I mean, obvious people are curious. They don't know what's going on. So the first thing that you want to do is look and kind of try to figure out yourself, which is always, it's just a given when you're growing up with a disability. But obviously with other kids, it was like I had a really good group of friends, and obviously growing up with it, kids don't they question it, but at the same time they get used to it quick and they understand it and they're like, okay,
You gotta
so
accept people for who they are
right, exactly,
on the inside. You know.
right,
And,
exactly.
and what would you say keeps you going and motivated when even when you were younger and you felt like you couldn't do something? Even you
Well,
said you played football.
right.
What's your motivating factor?
So when I was growing up, I had all these friends that played sports, and it was hard because I would always get told, you got to watch out for this. You got to, you having a disability, you got to look out for specific things, and there would always be people telling me I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to avoid this, I got to avoid that, and it was just always I never wanted to be looked at as someone who couldn't do something because of my disability. I always wanted to be like looked at as, that kid made it through it. Like if he can do it, then I can do it. And it just what was motivating me was just being the same, and I just wanted to be accepted, and I wanted to show people that I could do it. It was just it grew my perspective at a young age. I just understood what I had to do and how I had to work a little harder than everyone else. And just growing up with a disability, it really puts it into perspective that you got to work a little harder, and it's a completely different outlook on life. And it's just as I grew up, I went from basketball. I started in middle school, and I started getting a little stronger because as you get older and you move more, the disability gets a little it softens just because you grow strength and all that stuff. So I started moving more, and I just really wanted to like get out there and play a sport and show people that I could do it. And I did it, and I started playing basketball, and I moved in about seventh grade. I decided I wanted to play football, which was my first contact sport. I went with town over, and the thing that was motivating me was just everyone around me, like just understanding that I am not just some kid that has a disability. I am some kid that has a disability, but I'm going to show people that it does not matter to me, and it is not going to affect me. I'm going to do everything.
I have a question.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
how are your parents treating you? And also, do you have siblings?
Yeah, so I have one sister. She's 6 years older than me. My parents were always very supportive when I grew up. And my mom always told me, I'll never forget this. She would always tell me where people lack, like someone that has a disability that grows up, whether it's mental or whether it's physical, anyone that grows up, you make up for it. Your brain power makes up for it somewhere else, and it goes towards somewhere else. And I think that for me was towards my ability to enhance my perspective on life and understanding of how everything works and what I need to do to get what I want in this life. And she never let me know that I couldn't do something for it. She always reassured me that everything was going to be okay and everything I would get whatever I wanted to get. If I wanted to put my mind to something, I would be able to get it no matter what. And she was awesome. And
But
as I
I also think that when life takes something from you, it also gives you something back.
exactly. And I talk about people as I said, yeah, it's hard growing up with a disability, but I am so glad that it happened to me because I most certainly would not be the person I am today without it. And just what it's done for me, and it's what the side of people that I've seen, like how they treat me. Like what I always tell people is if you're dealing with something and you have uh, you have a disability in some sort, and someone is making fun of you for it, or they're degrading you for it, that's not your problem at all. That's their problem. That's that person's problem. Like they need to do some reevaluating. Like understand. Like listen, I'm the same as you. Like just because I walk a little different than you, I am the same as you. We are in the same ballpark for everything. Like don't look down on me. Don't think I'm less of a person. It's just, and that's also another thing that motivates me, just like understanding that there are people like that in this world that look down on people like me and people with anxiety, people with depression, people with physical disabilities, autism, Down syndrome, all that stuff. It's just like they look down on them, they treat them as a less of a person. It's just that that just keeps me going, makes me want to think, you know what, I'm going to go to the gym. Like, I'm going to go 2 times as hard as I did yesterday. I'm going to be better than the person I was yesterday. Like, all these people out here thinking that I can't do it, that talk to me like I'm less of a person. And I'm going to show them that I'm not. I'm just as good as you, if not better. And I'll show you that. And
Yeah, the thing is, I hear at college, especially, I hear people saying every day, "Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I want to sleep."
Right, making excuses.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I don't even know what they do. They have like one class. Most of the people only one class a day,
Right,
and it's not even in the morning most of the time. Let's
right,
say it's around 12 or 3.
right,
They can sleep in as long as they want, but they still like don't appreciate those things that they have.
right. Exactly.
A- And in those moments when you felt like giving up, I'm not sure if you've had those, but say you felt like giving up or I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't even try to do that. Well, what keeps you going?
So I most certainly I think we've all had times where things have gotten rough and we've wanted to give up. But the things that kept me motivated, I always have. I think we all have specific memories of people telling us that we were great at something, or we were gonna be great, or we are going to be great. And I remember I always had figures in my life telling me that I will do something with this world, I will impact this world. And I always remember those specific memories of people saying that to me, and that was what would keep me motivated. And I would just always remember those times where people have high hopes for what I'm gonna do, and I am by no means gonna let those people down on what they believe in me. And just I always wanted to keep going forward, better myself. And I think coming to college was a big thing too, because I mean I've been in my hometown for so long, and I've never been away from home this long, and it just it was a good opportunity to really rewrite myself and really rewrite the paths that we want to create here in a completely new environment, completely new situations. It's all up to us. It's our responsibility. We're adults now. I mean, you know, it's big changes. So I think motivation is it's a very hard thing to do for a lot of people these days. It's a very hard aspect to advance for yourself. And I see people that can't even get out of bed in the morning. Sometimes it's like, what are you thinking about? Like, what's are you not motivated? Like, you just got to get yourself out of bed, start your day. I mean, it's just little things like that, and it comes with perspective and how you've viewed the world and things like that. It's a gift. It really is. And like, I know that sounds corny and cliche, but it really is.
Life truly is a blessing and a gift, and you,
It
you got to
really
be
is.
grateful
I
for
have
it.
I have another
Make the
question
best out of it.
for you. So how is it? How what's your life so far with women, with girls? Because we're all men,
Right.
we always want to have like most of the time we want to have a girl
Right.
attention.
Of course.
And so how was it for you in your
So,
life?
so I mean, obviously, this day and age, it's hard because women, they love the tall guys, they love the strong guys, all that stuff. I mean, obviously, I'm not that tall, and I mean, I have a blatant, obvious um, shortcoming on my part of having a disability, and that's obviously something they take into account. I struggled for a long time. I hit puberty really late, so I mean that didn't help. Um, but I'm more than grateful now. I have a beautiful girlfriend that we knew each other for 4 years, and we've been dating for almost a year now. And she loves me for who I am, and I could not be more grateful. I wake up and I thank God every single day that I have her, because when you live a life and you have like the body and the shortcomings that I have, it's hard. It really is. I'm not, no pity at all. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad. I'm just that's real. That's how it is. And I'm more than grateful that I have her, and she's helped me so much, and she is a big reason why I am so motivated today, because she showed me that I could be accepted, and I could have someone that loves me as much as I want to be loved, and I can give back. So
It should.
That's important to have somebody in your life who sometimes when you don't feel pushing yourself that you have somebody who pushes you, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
I wanted to ask you, since you said you never like really went out of your hometown, how is it now? Like when you came to college, how were like the first months? Like how was it for you?
So it was scary. I mean, I've always been able to get along with people that were outside of the way I lived, and they lived their lives differently. I have a array of different types of friends back home, different backgrounds, different ethnicities. I mean, everything. So I mean, when I came here, my plan was just to find a couple people that I could, I could be comfortable around, and I share my story with almost everyone I meet that I get close with at one point. And I just want to, because I mean, there's always kind of an awkward little thing there, a big elephant in the room, like what's going on. Everyone probably wants to ask, and that's fine. I'd rather you ask than obviously talk about it. But it was scary, and I've dealt like recently. I did deal with someone that had made fun of me and the other day, and I stiffed them like right in front of they were trying to make a bunch of people laugh, and they were imitating the way I walked, and I walked back out and I talked to them. I was like, bro, what are you like?
But
What?
that's the people that they're trying to be cool in front of other guys
I know.
to make by making every somebody else
Exactly.
like looking
Yeah,
bad.
it's ridiculous, and it's that's just kind of the culture that we've made today in our life, like on social media, and like it's okay to make fun of people like that, and it's just like I really with something that I do in the future. I really want to go against that and how people they discriminate against other people, whether it's about race, whether it's about you know disability, whether it's about anything that's just a little bit off. They think it's okay to make fun of just because they're not like them,
The
but
thing is, those people who mostly do this, they're not happy with themselves.
exactly, exactly. And I'm telling you, that's what I've come to realize as you grow up and you understand. Like I can see through people when I meet someone. I don't know if this is because of my disability and how I was raised, but I can see right through someone. I can talk to you for 5 minutes and I can understand everything about you, and it's powerful, and it's just like I can feel it, and it's it's awakening, and it's just I've always had like I can feel my own presence, and it's just other people can feel it too. Like when they get to know me, they understand, and these people, like you said, like they're not happy with themselves. They're not educated. Like they're insecure. Like they got their own problems they got to deal with, and if they think that they're gonna make fun of me, and you know, just to make someone else laugh, like I'm gonna embarrass you. Like I'm gonna make you look stupid, and that's exactly what I did to this kid the other day. And it's just I have made a promise to myself that I'm not gonna let any of that stuff fly, and I'm gonna spread awareness and show people. Like I'm gonna teach people lessons by confronting them. If they want to make a joke of me, then I'm gonna show you who the real joke is. It's just that's how it is. And
What do you think about music?
music,
Yeah,
I
does
love
does
music.
music motivates you in some way?
Absolutely. I have a bunch of songs that I have. I'm actually like I love going back to old music. I don't like listening to new music. Sometimes I do, but I always have these songs that I grew up listening to that motivated me. I'd always, you know how it is when you're going to the gym or you're going to a sports game and you got the music in your headphones and you're getting chills down your back. Like I've always had those types of songs, and those really keep me going. And I have a set playlist. I don't think I've changed it in 2 years, to be honest with you. I'll add a couple here and there, but music is definitely big. I think anyone can benefit from music, whether it's to motivate you, to calm you down, but motivation does come from music if you can relate to the lyrics too, and something it means something to you. I think
Yeah. What do you think? What kind of advice can you give for the people? Like overall, it doesn't matter if they're young, if they're old. Like just your advice for people that actually have everything, but they take it for granted and they don't appreciate the little things.
so something that I would say to someone. I just think every day you got to take some time to really reflect. You got to sit back and understand where you are in your life. And if something can be bad, I mean, someone's got it way worse somewhere else. And it's just, like these little things, like we get a roof over our heads, we're going to a nice school, we get an education, we get to eat, like all this stuff. You really got to find time in your day, like whether it be meditation or you're reading a book or sitting there just with your own thoughts in a quiet room, just understanding you got to count your blessings and understand what you have and what you don't have. And when you want something, you don't always need it. Like you got what you need right now, and you don't got to rush anything. And all you have in this life is yourself. You are the only person that you are promised. And like anyone else, they're not guaranteed. And you got to treat yourself, and you got to be good to yourself, and really understand yourself and figure everything out, because that's the most powerful thing you can do, is figure yourself out and understand what you like, what you don't like, what bothers you, what doesn't bother you, all that stuff. So um yeah, if I was to say anything to everyone, I'd just say you got to count your blessings. You understand where you are and what you could have, but what you couldn't have.
Yeah.
I have one
So
more
it's
question. So how is it with you? Like, does do you have like workouts you have to do? Like, is there a possibility to like basically get it over with, or
so pretty much the only answer to really like it's just going to the gym and stretching and doing the mobility like mobility. When I go to physical therapy, they give me certain stretches I have to do, certain workouts that I can do for the muscles that aren't as strong because of the tightness of my muscles. Some of those muscles I don't even have access to because my legs are so tight. Um, but so yeah, there are definitely like specific workouts I have to do, like stretches, stretching, a lot of stretching. So a way that I can progress it is a lot of stretching as much as I can possibly do, like every chance I get in the morning, at night, before a workout, after a workout. So that'll loosen up my muscles as much as it possibly can, and that's pretty much. And then strengthening my muscles. I mean, that's just like anything else. If you want to get better, you just keep strengthening, going to the gym and stuff.
I see you got the cross on. Would you say that faith and religion is a motivating factor in your life?
Absolutely. I have my mom. My mom's side of the family's always been very religious, and I was growing up in a Christian home. Um, not so devoted to Christianity, but like going to church and stuff. We would go sometimes, but I do like to sit back, and I do believe in God, and I have him tatted on my arm. I pray to God every night. I used to do it every single night. I would 4 times across the chest up before I would go to bed. It's kind of like a superstition I had. I stopped doing that after a couple bad things happened to me because I thought it was cursing me at that point. But no, I definitely I believe in God, and He motivates me a lot, and I want to do a lot for Him. And hopefully, as my life goes down the line, I'm young. I'll repent all my sins to the my Lord and Savior, and hopefully He forgives me. But
I feel as though we all have a purpose in this life.
absolutely.
Yeah, I
You know,
just think that people who like who have everything, like again, like we said, they really don't appreciate that. And for us, it's important to be surrounded sometimes with people who actually don't have everything, so they can teach us.
right,
I think that's probably one of the biggest lessons that people can get,
right,
because otherwise, when they are surrounded with people who are not motivated most of the time, who take everything for granted, you're not gonna become better.
right. And you're not going to be educated. You're not going to understand. It's just can't surround people. You can't surround yourself with people that are exactly like you. You got to have a wide variety of people from different backgrounds and different parts of the world, and different upbringings and stuff like that. It's just that's important. I think being at this school is very good too because we have people from all over the country, all over the world. I mean, I've gotten to meet so many people. My roommate's from Mexico. You're from Bulgaria. Where'd you say you were from?
I'm from Austria.
Austria, like all over the world. And I think at the end of the day, I think no matter where you come from, we're all kind of the same in certain ways. Just like I've seen some of your other podcasts when you guys talk about all this stuff, and it's like it's crazy because we're all here and we all think the same way in a way, almost. It's like there's people like you all around the world, and that's good when you can connect with them and be around them in a situation like this. It's a very powerful feeling when you
And
can surround
you
yourself.
need these people to have around you so you can push each other.
Exactly, motivation. That's what it's all about. I mean, when you surround people that have like mindsets of you, a motivating mindset, when you want to keep going, like you're pushing yourself, you want to be better than the person you were yesterday. It's helpful. It's very like I said, it's powerful. There's nothing more powerful than that.
Yeah. So I really would like to thank you
Yeah, of
for
course.
coming
Do
in
you do you
Thank
here,
have
you
and
guys.
do
I
you have one
appreciate
more
it.
message you want to say to the people?
Um, just be nice to everyone. Everyone's going through something. Everyone has something to say. Just treat others the way you'd want to be treated. The golden rule. But don't look down on anyone. Everyone's the same.
yeah, thank you very
Thank you
much.
again,
Thank you
Christian.
guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you
I
so much
appreciate it
Being,
for
for
real.
being here and sharing your story with us.
yeah,
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. Good
you
time.
you helped us a lot. Honestly,
Absolutely.
like me listening to you, I was quiet. I just want to understand like your point of view,
Right.
what you've been going through, and it might take a little bit time for me after the podcast to realize some things. And yeah, thank you very much again.
Yeah,
I
thank you
think
guys.
you
This
taught
this
us a lot.
this podcast is all about this, to
Right.
show each other's experience and to help each other understand things in the world better.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's it. Yeah, you guys are great listeners. I appreciate you guys for having me on. And listen,
thank
I'd
you.
love to
of
come
course,
back
man.
anytime. Talk
Of
about this stuff.
course,
Of
of
course.
course. Yeah.
Great time.
Yeah, thank you very much. So
Yeah,
this
thank
is
you.
for our podcast today. We will have another podcast next week. and thank you again.
Peace out,
See you
guys.
soon.
Bye, guys.
Be safe.